Hey, what's good, everybody? It's me, your hero, Benjamin Banks, and you're watching Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. And joining me from the Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks podcast is my co-host, Rebellious _ D23. How you doing today, sir?
I am feeling Blue Valley great, sir.
Hey,
how about yourself?
I am doing fantastic. And what's interesting about this episode is that there was a storm coming to Blue Valley, and there was a storm that passed over us tonight. And
hey, imagine that.
You know what I'm saying? So maybe Eclipso may be in our area. Who knows?
Oh.
But that's what we're talking about today. We're talking about Stargirl Season 2, Episode 5. And before we get into today's review, make sure that you like this video, you subscribe to the channel, you hit that bell button so that way you're always notified when we have new content here on Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks.
Podcast in the description. Like, follow, subscribe to the channel, or I'm feeding you. Hey, Banks, I was about to have you edit me out, boy. If you don't subscribe to this channel, I'm feeding you to Eclipso.
Oh,
that's
God.
It.
Take it easy, man.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, man, let's get into it. Another amazing episode of Stargirl, man.
Yep.
We see at the start of the episode Cindy's past. We see that it looked like her and her mom, they were on the run from her dad, and then her dad, he ends up finding them, as we found out in last week's episode that I believe it was was it last week's episode or was it episode 3 where they had showed Cindy's mom, and it looked like her dad killed her so that way that she would not be able to take Cindy away from the Dragon King.
That is a tough one. I'm gonna ride with episode 3 on that, Banks, on that question.
Yeah, because episode 2 was more about Jade.
Yes.
Or Jenny.
Episode 3 we got Jenny, and episode 3 because I felt like episode 4 was the Artemis stuff.
Yeah, with the sports and stuff like that.
Yeah, so
and I'm gonna be honest with you, man. Like, this was the first episode where there was really some action going on. Like, there was a fight, kind of. I mean, I don't know, man. I feel like with the way that this season has been going, and this is something that I picked up on when I was at the gym earlier. It makes sense why it's called summer school because of the pandemic and whatnot. We've seen that a lot of these CW shows, they really don't have
a lot of cast, a lot of fill-ins and stuff.
Yeah.
Which I'm fine with. I think it's a smart way for them to keep it moving.
But Superman and Lois had a bunch of people up there,
and no question.
But Black Lightning didn't really have a lot of people. Flash didn't really have a lot of people.
Flash is moving too fast.
That's true, but still, the people parts that they have up there, I mean, it's
we're good on that.
But
we're having a great night.
But on this though, because they're in summer school, you don't have to have a full school of people.
Exactly. Like I'm saying, it's a great way to keep the story moving.
Exactly.
But to your credit, this is there's a lot of people parts in this season, but I like the progression of the story. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
it's more like Cindy running around in the shadows, being mischievous. She's doing her recruiting process. So yeah. Go ahead.
I know. I just want to know, when we're gonna see Jenny again, when we're gonna see Starman again. It's just one of those things where it's like there's so much going on. It's the same thing with Titans, where it's like we keep on seeing all of this stuff that's going on in Gotham City, but it's like, when are we going to see Raven and Wonder Girl again? When are we going to see them? And I just hope that when we do see them, same thing like with on Stargirl, when we do go back to these characters, that these episodes will just be centered around them since they've been gone for so long. Same thing with the kid who ended up getting the Thunderbolt at the end of last week's episode. Not last week's episode.
No, 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago. So it's just going to be interesting to see what's going on. And, because this season, it is only going to be 13 episodes, just like the first season. So it's going to be interesting to see how they wrap this up. But as we've seen in this episode, Cindy, she's still making the rounds. It's like she doesn't know if she should talk to old boy to see if she should recruit him or not.
Mm-hmm.
He's Isaac.
Yeah, and it's funny because Isaac seems to he's on to her in a way. You know what I'm saying? He knows.
Oh, sorry, it's not Isaac. Isaac is the violinist's kid.
Whoa.
Excuse me. Who is what is his name? Henry. There we go. Yeah. Henry King Jr.
Yeah, he's named after his dad, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, well, Henry seems to be Henry. Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. Yeah, Henry.
Who was the kid who was Brainwave's son?
I can't remember what his son's name is, but yeah, because Henry King Sr., that's the painting that's on the wall that Henry King Jr. is doing.
Well, he seems to be on to her because he alludes to knowing or remembering something that she said about her mom a long time ago. And I'm guessing, with her saying I'd never liked her anyway, I think that was clearly after the Dragon King brainwashed her and experimented on her and all that stuff. So I thought that was interesting that he knows. Now, I think this is going to end up being one of those things where it's like, these people killed your dad. And it's like, all right, I'm going to be your weapon. I think that's how this is going to play out eventually.
Yeah.
Because I don't see him just joining her to join her. It doesn't make sense. Not when he already likes, Stargirl. So,
something else too that I thought was interesting. It was when she saw Henry, and then Henry's grandma, she comes up and she's just like, you stay away from her, and then we see that she has ice powers too.
They hint at her having the powers. Now, do you think it was something that ran on her side of the family, or do you think the grandfather has it too?
I mean, it's a possibility that they could all have it, to be honest with you.
I mean, it could be hereditary is what I'm going with.
Yeah.
Where the grandfather,
it makes sense. Like
they could be from a weird place and everybody has it, or it could just be a hereditary gene thing. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I thought that was interesting though.
Another thing that we see too is that Mike, he's looking depressed because he wants to help the team out. He ends up going to the junkyard to get a car. He's like, I just want us to have a getaway car. Like, Mike, we don't need none of this stuff.
Yeah, I figured if I could soup it up.
What you gonna do?
Come on, Mike.
Come on, Mike. Just take it easy. Like, I know you want to help, but it's just like, and then we also
time and a place.
We see, Barbara. She ends up talking with the Shade, and she tells him she's just like, all right, it's time to drop the act. I know who you are.
I knew there was something too. I meant to bring this up to you earlier, but the actress who does Barbara, I knew her from something. She was in the first
Amy Smart.
Yeah, she was in the Mist, the first one that came out with all the monsters in it. And I was just like, damn, I knew her from somewhere. Yeah, that's where it was. I love the Shade, man. I can't get enough of this guy. He cracks me up. He's he's really weird, excuse me. And it's just he's a fun villain. And I brought up his weakness being a light source, because this is very old school, light versus dark, blah, blah, blah. But I was thinking too that the Flash could have been good against him with throwing thunderbolts.
Yep.
And then speaking of thunderbolts, the thunderbolts itself could have been strong against him. And these are all members they don't even have yet. You know what I mean? So, you get a glimpse of the thunderbolt with Mike early on, but it's like he didn't know what he was doing.
Yeah, it's gonna...
The lantern's gone. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, and then we also see that too when Cindy is trying to save the teacher, and she's like, reach out to the light. Like, bro, like I know you had mentioned this when we first started doing the season 2 reviews of Stargirl, but this does have It vibes to it. With Eclipso, because
the beginning with the girl getting snatched up. That screamed It.
And then as we see when they're in the school and Eclipso, he plays on the stuff that they fear. And the reason why he wasn't able to get to Cindy is because Cindy, she had the light. So he couldn't get her. But, we're able to see everybody else's fears. And we also finally see Beth. She talks with her parents about knowing that they're getting a divorce. And, her parents, they're just like, we really haven't decided to fully go through with it. It is a conversation that we all need to have.
Yeah.
And I can understand why Beth feels the way that she does, because nobody wants to see their parents go through a divorce. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's pretty tough.
Especially too. I mean, at least Beth, she's at the age where she's not a child. You know what I'm saying? Because it's definitely hard when you're a child and your parents go through a divorce, because it's like you're a kid. You know what I'm saying? You really
very damaging.
You know what I'm saying? It's hard because when you're a kid and your parents go through a divorce, it's weird seeing your parents with somebody else compared to when you're a teenager.
What you've always known.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I mean, it's still hard too being a teenager as well.
It sucks.
But I mean, Beth, it's like, I mean, bro, you just look at it. I mean, they really don't even have time for Beth, let alone like they have time for each other. But who knows? By the end of this season, maybe they might work something out so that way that they can spend more time together. But I mean, her parents, like both of them are very successful in the fields that they're in, and they're very busy. They don't have time for one another. I mean, we saw Beth made dinner for them, and neither one of them came home for it. You know what I'm saying?
Look, your boy Jefferson and Lynn.
They were both successful.
They were successful in their fields too. And look, your boy was sitting on the couch looking like this the whole season.
Hey, but you see, at least
on the couch.
At least with them, at least they're not arguing. They're like on Black Light. Oh my god! But anyway, this again was a really good episode. We see the new Injustice Society, and Cindy. She's trying to do her thing to get her team together so that way that they can go after the Justice Society. I feel like there's something else that happened in this episode too that I'm leaving out. With at the start of the episode, Courtney, she's trying to find the shade because she wants to get answers. And, Pat, he wasn't being honest with her about everything. We have that. And then there was something else too that happened. Beth, she lets Pat know about Dr. Midnight still being alive and whatnot.
And he doesn't believe her.
Yeah, and he's telling her, it's just like, it could just be a clip, so just saying whatever, so that way that
He's got a point though.
So that way you can believe it. And I know that you haven't seen Shang-Chi, but that's one of the things that was going on in the movie with the Mandarin, because his wife, she had died, but then you had the demons in the other world who were using his wife's voice saying like, hey, all you gotta do is let me out, we could be together again. And you gotta think, if this is somebody that you love and you care about, and you're hearing their voice, you're hearing it clearly, and they're just like, I'm on the other side of this door, you just got to let me out. I mean, we've seen this in movies and TV shows.
Like Michael.
Like
at the beginning of the season, Michael told the little girl, you want it, take it. You know what I'm saying? Just take it.
And she got snatched up.
Yeah, so, straight Pennywise.
So
I was like, is this it?
Final thoughts on the episode, and what is your rating for it?
I know, hey man, I'm here to the end. You know what I'm saying? I'm with you to the end. You know what I'm saying? So, final rating, I'm gonna go ahead and give this episode a smooth 8. I really enjoy it, even the people parts. They do a good job with the storytelling. Really like this season's villain / anti-hero, the Shade. Can't wait to see what his end game is. Is he really just kind of like trying to recharge himself, use Calypso, Calypso to invoke like infinite darkness? Like, where is he going with this? I can't help but feel like he just wants to recharge himself. That's just the vibe I get. You get subtle hints that his powers aren't strong enough to conquer the staff, for example, and things like that. So I don't know, man. I just want a little bit more, and I like the pacing of it. They're giving us pieces here, and they're very spread out. I think we may get Jenny back next episode. I think so. And I think she'll come back into the fold.
Also too, one last thing before I say what I want to say. I was wrong. Henry King Sr. and Henry King Jr., those were the
Brainwave.
That was Brainwave.
I thought that was his son. Okay, so what is
Isaac? Not Isaac. Cameron.
I knew it was a name that didn't really, you know what I'm saying? Cameron doesn't roll off anybody's tongue.
Cameron.
Cameron McCann.
He looks like a Cameron too.
And his dad was Jordan McCann. So hey, don't come after me in the comments because I know that there's been times where we've said stuff and it's just
man, look, if you come all this way for Banks, first off, you need to smash that like, follow, subscribe.
Hit the like button.
Yeah, first, man, hit the like button and then get to it. All right, and we'll be here waiting for you.
So for me, I really enjoyed this episode. I enjoyed the action that we had in this episode. And it was cool to, finally see the teacher who was like the villain of the week, but he was being controlled by Eclipso. So it was unique seeing the heroes do something heroic and save somebody.
Oh,
so I really did enjoy that. I'm looking forward to seeing what's going to happen on next week's episode. So for me, I give this an 8 out of 10. So let us know in the comments what you thought about this week's episode. Did you like it? Did you hate it? What your rating is for the episode? And D, let them know where they can find you at in social media land.
You can find me as always at rebellious_D23 at Instagram.com. Like, follow, subscribe to the channel. And Banks, if these people out here need help finding what their muse is, tell them where they can find you at.
You can find me at Hero Benjamin Banks at KingBenji_Banks. On Twitter and Instagram. You can find me on Facebook at Benjamin Banks. I should be the first person to pop up. If not, then I need to contact Mr. Zuckerberg. Thank you again for watching this review. Make sure you check out some more of our reviews, interviews, and reaction videos that we do have here on the channel. Also, check out our podcast where we drop new episodes every Tuesday. And that episode is on YouTube that Friday. So like I always say, keep that pinky up. Stay positive. We'll see you next time on Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. Peace.
Thanks again, everybody, for watching another episode of Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. Make sure you like, follow, subscribe to the channel. Podcast, we got that too. Make sure you give us a thumbs up and hit that bell for further episodes and notifications. Thanks a lot to our patrons. And if you don't mind, join the Patreon. We'll be having new specials coming up soon.